Hey guys, this is Shakti from Around the Wicket, where we not only speak about the game, but we try to learn more about the humans behind our sport. And it gives me great pleasure of introducing our guest today. He is the father of Karnataka cricket, a man with incredible pedigree and utmost respect from everyone who has come in contact with him. He has unearthed some of the more exciting talents in Indian cricket currently, with the likes of Mayank Agarwal and Veda Krishnamurthy. He went from a boy who loved football to becoming the director of the Karnataka Institute of Cricket. Irfan Sait, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, it's such a wonderful pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Tell me more about how things are in India at the moment, and how have you been adapting to such a situation.
Well, to be very honest, we have started looking up. The things are appearing to get better. The last few days have been very exciting. Uh, the pandemic was bad for the entire universe. So was it for us as well. So we were not isolated, and everyone has gone through the same. But it is just this that we at KIOC have made very good use of this downtime, and we worked on certain very fine points with our top cricketers. Of course, we had to maintain the social distancing. We used this to have smaller groups, intense coaching, and from the negative, we have tried and taken out a lot of
So
positives.
we generally, with all our guests, we try and know more about the history behind their love for cricket. Like I said, you started off loving the world game, football. Tell us more about the journey of you being involved with cricket, and how has the experience been sharing your wisdom and knowledge with all the young cricketers that are coming through.
Oh, it's been such a wonderful experience. I'm very grateful and thankful for the day when Gundappa Viswanath scored his 100 on his debut. I can promise you that was the day when I first heard about this game. In the school, there was so much of euphoria. I didn't even understand what it means to score 100 on the debut. But Gundappa Vishwanath, being from Karnataka, the whole of Karnataka was on a high, scoring 100 against Bill Lawry's
Australian team.
Australians in Kanpur. And I thought there must be something really good about this. Although as a little kid, I was more into football at that time. I used to kick the ball around, was very happy being a goalkeeper, diving and stopping, and enjoyed it. But I thought there is there's a zing about this thing, and the
Mm.
whole country is talking about one man, Gundappa Vishwanath. And that is the one man who inspired me to change over to
Yep.
cricket. And from there on, I've simply loved my time at the game. It's been a wonderful journey, and I think the game has done so much of good to me and my country as well. As you know, in India, cricket is a kind of a religion, and it's the life of millions and zillions, and we are very happy being connected with the sport.
And the game will say the same thing about you, that they've learned a lot from your side as well. Like I said, you are the director of the Karnataka Institute of Cricket. Could you
Yeah.
tell us more about the institute itself and the history behind such a prestigious establishment? It is one of the more popular institutes or cricketing clinics in India.
I would like to give a lot of credit to all those young boys who've laid faith in us. They joined us and they continued with us. Credit goes to them who worked extremely hard, and through their hard work, through their achievements, through their passion and their achievements, Karnataka Institute of Cricket got its recognition. Also, a lot of credit goes to those people who worked extremely hard behind the scene. It's
Okay.
not only me. Sometimes I feel, I'm getting a lot of undue credit, but there have been plenty of others who've really worked hard with a lot of passion and dedication. I would like to say, yes, I might have been in a good position to lead these young men and show them the pathway, but it is they who are doing the journey. It
Yeah.
is the people who have walked this path and brought the glory to Karnataka Institute of Cricket. They are the ones who truly deserve the honors. I
Yeah.
can promise you, there have been so many people, so many youngsters who bring their dreams and they would like to see them, turn into reality. We're just giving them a platform. We're giving them an opportunity. We're giving them a place to hone their skills. Yes, we are implementing a little bit of discipline. I might be a strict, disciplinarian, asking them to be on time and do things in the right way. Very much the textbook kind.
Yeah.
But credit to all those who really, really worked hard.
Yeah.
The
Congratulations to
history,
your
I
team.
must say, yes, thank you. If you want to know the history, there was a time when I toured Australia, and it was in the early part of '96. I remember 13th of January we arrived in uh, Sydney, and then we
Mm-hmm.
went about Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and everywhere that I went. While my other teammates went, pub hopping, or maybe they were doing all the sightseeing, I was doing a lot of research on how Australian cricket goes. I
Yeah.
visited number of these academies and the clubs and all that. Met up with Graham Yalla, and I had the good fortune of having Dr. Harinath, who was a board member in Sydney,
Mm-hmm.
and also Dr. Umapati in Melbourne, who took me around to small and big cricketing establishments. I made mental notes, and I wanted to recreate something of the similar nature back in India and Bangalore. When we arrived back in Bangalore, the first thing I did was try and locate a place where we could start some cricket coaching.
Yeah.
And I was, to be honest, I was really, really impressed by the professionalism of the Australian method of coaching. And that's how I took it up. And we hooked up with a number of other cricketers, E.S. Prasanna, B.S. Chandrasekhar, all the elite, Sunil Joshi, they all came on board as coaches, and they gave me a fantastic platform. They helped me start off, and we started with a very small number, but as we kept working and producing some good results, a lot of them start coming in, and they start believing that yes, this is the place where they can make
Mm.
their dreams come true. So this is how we started on the 19th of April 1996. We are in the 25th year, the silver jubilee year of Karnataka Institute of Cricket, and with the blessings of all those who have benefited from us, all those who have gained some knowledge and experience through playing for Karnataka Institute of Cricket and our various clubs.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we should be able to see through.
Yeah. A lot of establishments are looking up to how the Karnataka Institute of Cricket is running. A couple of individual players I mentioned at the start, but there are a few that have come under your tutelage who have represented India with the high honors. Obviously, Mayank Agarwal, Veda Krishnamurthy, Manish Pandey, and Uthappa as well. What was it about these players that made them stand out? And how was it working with the likes of these guys?
You see, it brings a smile on my face when you mention these names. Three India senior national players. Uthappa was the first to come on board. Of course, I must mention it was Manish Pandey who was our first enrollment, who has gone on to then become the India player. He was less than 8 years when Manish Pandey joined us.
Wow.
As a little kid. And I take huge pride in the fact that the very first year of our academy, we awarded Manish Pandey the most promising cricketer of that season. And for us to be awarding someone who was less than 8 and recognizing his talent, and then he goes on to prove that yes, we were right by playing for India, and then he scored 100 in Sydney.
Yes, I remember that.
We got 100 against Australia,
Yep.
and what a matter of pride it is for all of us. We're also happy because these young men have really given us so much of pride. Uthappa was the first one to break into the national squad, and then of course Mayank Agarwal followed, once again excelling in Australia. So I think you see, if you remember, I mentioned I took a lot of the inputs from the Australian cricket methods, and I was quite impressed by the professionalism of Australian cricket. And then again, of course, I had the good fortune of spending a lot of time in England as well when I did level 2 in Australia and then level 3 in England. So I picked up all these little points from India, Australia, and England, put them together, and that recipe has really worked. Now, these young men who have performed so well at all levels and earned the India cap makes us extremely, extremely proud. Also, there are 5 Indian girls who played for India, and another girl, Sindhu Ashok, who's a captain of United States of America, and Sonia Odedra has played Test cricket for England. So the pedigree is very good. But if you look at these individuals, they've all earned the caps on their own personal merits. They've worked extremely hard. We might just have given them the pathway, but it is they who have actually done the journey, and they are the ones who deserve all the credit. And I, I can actually say that I have learned a lot from these young fellows.
Yeah.
While coaching, they say when one is coaching, two are learning. When Robin is doing something, it's not just Robin who's learning, but I was also learning. Likewise from Manish Pandey and Mayank Agarwal and Veda Krishnamurthy, Karuna Jain, Mamatha Maben, Nushin Al-Qadir, and all of them. So, it's been such a privilege to be associated with these young fellows, and I've seen them grow, and I can promise you there are a lot more in store. The 14s, 16s, and 19s who are now coming up through the channels, and I think they have used the time, this downtime during the pandemic. They've done very good use of the time, and they are really honing their skills.
Yeah, and the state of Karnataka are doing really, really well in the Indian ranks. Irfan, you have seen a lot of different players with different abilities, talent, work ethics. What do you feel are the most important ingredients that you look or probably place importance with these young cricketers for them to succeed towards the higher level?
I think it starts with passion. One must love the game, and that passion is something which will lead you into sacrifices and the hard work. So if you ask me the ingredients, it is first of all the passion and love for the game. Then comes the hard work. When we say hard work, it is not the donkey's work, but the smart work as well. So that's where the coach steps in and guides them into not wasting their energy, using their energy and opportunities and facilities to the maximum, which we would like to call as optimum use. And then, of course, one needs the flair.
Yeah.
The flair. Now, this is something which most of us tend to neglect or ignore. Lots of cricketers work hard. Everyone has dreams, but the quotient of passion and the flair put together is something which is going to give you the spark. The flair, some of them are street smart, some of them learn through the way by reading, practicing and all that, but some have that within them. Like we said, Manish Pandey, when he was less than 8 years, he had the flair. Robin Uthappa, he was always a match winner from the time I remember, from the time he was less than 12 years of age. He's been winning matches for his side with his, that little flair that he has, the belief that they have in there. And so is it with, Veda Krishnamurthy and Nushin Al-Qadir, Mamatha Maben. They are all, they bring so much of passion, hard work, and add that with flair. And I would like they say, flair cannot be taught. It has to be learned, it has to be inculcated, it has to be developed by themselves. We can only encourage, we can only show the pathway, but it is the individual cricketer who has to have the self-belief, who has to have, what it takes to be someone who thinks a little ahead of time. So that's the kind of cricketers who make the big grade.
You talked about flair, spark, some people may say. Yes. And the other thing that you said is that it's something that can't be coached. I guess the question that I'm leading on to now is that, can cricketers be overcoached? And what are some of the issues involved with overcoaching a cricketer?
I think you have put your finger on the painful nerve. The overcoaching is our biggest problem today. Sometimes we are, the coaches are to be blamed because we want to impress, so we try and do something. In Australia, they used to say, which I picked up long back, why mend when it's not broken? We would like to look at life and cricket the same way. When things are going well, why try and change?
Yeah.
But if a cricketer is repeating a mistake or getting out in a similar fashion too many times, it's then that we need to interfere.
Yeah.
Likewise, of course, there are progressive things like, we can add a few runs. Someone who's scoring a 60, how could you make it a 70? So these progressive things are fine. But in our enthusiasm or keenness to contribute something to a particular player's growth, sometimes we overdo. This overcoaching can be a big problem. Now, we need to be not only just a coach or a technically sound coach, but we need to work on the mind as well. We need
Yes.
to understand an individual cricketer's psyche. We need to just give them that much of a dose. It's like being a doctor, we know what kind of medicine and what quantum of medicine to be given.
Mm.
Otherwise, overdoses can be fatal. So, all of us, I stress upon this with all my coaches that look, tell them, but tell them just as much as they can take. We need not, scare a cricketer out of the game. So we need to be very, very cautious. We have to, try and deal with them with kid gloves sometimes. Sometimes, yes, the cricketer may want to be pushed and challenged, but there are methods of doing that in the right way.
Another very important thing, Irfan, you mentioned was, focusing on the mental aspects of coaching. Obviously, every different coach has their own philosophies, whether some will focus on the physical attributes, some will focus on the technical. How much importance do you place on the mental side in the institute themselves, and more on making a person or a cricketer a better human being rather than just being that product of the game?
Well, to be very, very honest, the first thing we do with our cricketers is tell them that this is only a game. This is not a matter of life and death.
Mm.
Enjoy it. We need to enjoy this game because it's such a lovely game. It gives you a chance to learn not only the sport, but a way of life.
Yeah.
Those who fight hard on the cricket field will fight hard in life as well. This is especially in this time of pandemic. We need that mental and physical strength to overcome these setbacks. Now, I think our cricketers are truly, truly in a better shape and position to handle a lot of hardship in life much better and more efficiently than most others who don't play a sport. So, sport is an integral part, and more so, cricket being a team game, it allows us or teaches us and gives us an opportunity to learn how to lead a life which is so much more, conducive
Yes.
and manageable. So, mindsets are very important, and time to time, step by step, we need to try and teach them how to handle pressure, how to transfer pressure to on the other side, and how to enjoy a situation, how to overcome these. And these are all tactical but mental aspects.
Mm.
These are the mental aspects. Now, we at KIOC, we have Priya Christopher, who is a very, very efficient sports psychologist. And in today's world, with the stress of education, parental pressure, peer pressure, competition, selection matters, whims and fancies, with everyone coming with dreams and aspirations, we need to take very good care of them. You need to be really, really delicate and tender with these young minds and make them believe that this game is not just about selections and wickets and runs. It's so much more about enjoyment, about physical well-being and whatnot. We might only be, trying and deviating them from getting too much of stress, but it will help them in life.
Yeah.
Believe me, I have seen a lot of cricketers, or for that matter, a lot of people in different fields who have aspirations, and when they don't achieve, they are broken. So we need to take very, very good care of our youngsters. Make sure that they're enjoying it more than living their dreams. They have to be happy on a cricket field, and I think that is first and foremost. And then to handle different situations, I can say that yes, when there are two equals, the one with the stronger mindset is the one who's going to succeed. Among the two equals, whoever is able to handle pressure better, who can manage the stress, is the one who's going to go the long distance.
Yeah.
The sports psychologist, the coach who can be a good friend, philosopher, and guide, can also show the pathway and help an individual not only in sport but in life itself.
Yes. For me, to balance it out, what are some no-nos that you have in terms of looking at a young cricketer that you think, we need to wipe this out of that person's psyche or that person's character?
Well, I would like to begin with the distractions. In the modern day world, there are so many distractions. Kids can get attracted to things which might, that's the biggest enemy. That is the biggest enemy. and all the apps and the games that are available to them today might deviate and distract my young talent. So I'm extremely cautious, and in a very subtle way, we try to wean them away from these things. Also, one of the ways of keeping them away from these things would perhaps be how to keep them busy. When they're in cricket, you have to make sure that they're occupied, they're enjoying every moment. Otherwise, there's something else. Today, there's so many other factors that are competing with the sport itself. People, we might lose cricketers, like how England has lost a lot of youngsters to football. So
Yeah.
cricket has got competition through the mobile phones and all the tabs and all that. So we need to be extra cautious, and we need not only to work against our opponents on a cricket field, but from elsewhere as well. So distractions is one thing. The other thing is the parental pressure. Parental pressure. We need to try and explain to the parents, which we always do, that look, love the child to prosper. Don't compare him to another kid. Now, comparisons can be really bad. So we need to try and keep the comparisons out. And so many times it happens that a parent is trying to live his life through the child. So he wants the child to score hundreds, and hundreds don't come for asking. You see, there are so many factors. When a parent is comparing a performance, they should either be aware or not compare at all. The awareness should be in the region or the areas of what kind of bowling is your child facing, or what kind of batsman your child is bowling to, and the condition of the wicket, the game condition, and all those things. Parents most often don't understand. They just want the child to do very well. They want the child to be a hero, which of course, yes, every child, every parent might want to be, happy seeing his child succeed. That's good, but you have to give the child a good run.
Yeah.
Success doesn't come overnight. No success has come overnight. So we need to take the parental pressure off. And then next comes the peer pressure. Peer pressure, the friends, they matter. So if my boys are in an atmosphere where all of them are like-minded, they talk cricket and they're happy doing what they're doing, I think they'll grow up well. So these are the things, we need to take care of. When you say about the no-nos, we need to make sure that there aren't these things that are blocking the child's growth. And there are other aspects of life in cricket. Everybody is now going towards T20, and my young cricketer might want to, they run up to me and say, sir, I scored 18 runs from 10 balls, as if it's a huge achievement. They say my strike rate is 180. This is also a no again. We need to tell them that every big monument, the first thing that happens is the foundation. The foundation is the technique, and we need to keep them, focused on technique and the development of technique and tactics.
Yeah, outstanding education. Outstanding, to hear from someone like you talk about these distractions and things that can impact a cricketer. I guess a couple of things that are important for a coach. Like you said, it's it's all about learning. But a couple of things that make a great coach is, one is man management, and everyone says that someone who can manage people will become a better coach than someone who knows the game and understands the technical side of it. The other thing is leading from example. Obviously, you're in a leadership position, and therefore you have to do what you are preaching. And whether it's Mayank Agarwal, Manish Pandey, all the people that you have named who have represented India, or someone like we, a young cricketer that we interviewed recently in Shiva, Subarayappa, who has one arm. They have all mentioned that they've learned their discipline, the way of success from yourself and your tutelage and the institute's support. I guess what inspires you? You obviously have funded some of the young cricketers' cricketing journey as well. What inspires you to do these great things?
To begin at the beginning, I think if I have to motivate and keep the cricketers' interest in the game, I need to be enjoying what they're doing, and I need to be enjoying this game. So the truth is, yes, I love this game. I'm enjoying, and every good thing that's happening, it gives me so much pleasure. There's a smile on my face, which can be infectious. Then these cricketers are also happy to see that, the coach is happy, and it creates a very, very good atmosphere.
Yeah.
there are, times when the coach gets a little annoyed, and there have been times when maybe I've been a little rough with the trainees. This does happen, but it has to be within the limits. We need to make sure that the punishment does not truly look like punishment. It has to be like, the fatherly thing, where the father, if he's getting a little
Frustrated.
annoyed,
Yeah.
it is because annoyed because he loves you. It's only because he cares for you. And if I can deliver that, I think I can keep the cricketer all the time involved and happy and
Yeah.
trying and do things the right way. So my admonishing a cricketer should not be like punishing. It should be out of attachment. It should be out of empathy, because this is something which I believe is the need of the hour. We need to make them believe that the coach is actually wanting you, urging you to do well. That is the reason why he is also little. But if I'm happy, smiling, enjoying, it rubs off on everyone.
Hmm.
If I get too serious and if I get too uppity, then there's going to be an issue. Sometimes, it could have negative results. So the one thing is that yes, we need to be one with the team. Like you said, man management. Man management is, yes, we have to lead from the front, and that has to be in our expression, the way we hold ourselves, and all that. And one important, very important aspect that we need to ingrain in these young fellows right from the beginning is the respect for time.
Hmm.
Discipline begins to me, and with me and KIOC, it begins with the timekeeping.
Yeah.
The best of them have gone back, sent back home when they have turned up late.
Hmm.
Shreyas Gopal is one example. I still date. I remember the time when Shreyas Gopal, he pleaded that it's not my fault, it was my dad who was late, but the dad was a very close friend of mine. I said, look, rules the rules. I've never come late, so I can't allow you to come late. I'm setting an example. Kindly follow. Don't ever. We have a byline here which says, "Never come on time to KIOC.
Hmm.
Come before time." So all our boys and girls, they said never come on time to KIOC. So the rest of the world might think, what is KIOC coaching? What we mean to say is never come on time. Please come before time. It's just the same as you would go to a railway station or airport or whatever. Let's try and respect. And then the next thing is how you turn out. You have to turn out well, smart. You must, project yourself in a way that you might be able to inspire or motivate somebody else also to join your game. So these are the little things that we try and follow. And man management is, like you said, it has to be set by example. I do things well and I expect others to do well. And without having to scream, shout, or command, we are still able to get the best out of not only the boys and girls who train with us, but our staff and trainers, coaches, everybody.
Yeah. I think the thing that you touched on, which is most disrespected, is time.
Yes.
And like any successful athletes, they will always say that if you take care of the controllables, or the
Yes.
one pointers, those are the things that add up to make you a successful sports person. With Karnataka Institute of Cricket, what are some of the upcoming projects that you have lined up and that we should look forward to?
I have a lot of things lined up, but basically we take it one thing at a time. We have set up a high performance center now, and we are focusing a lot on fast bowlers, because I thought, one, it's in fashion. Two,
Yes,
we
exciting.
all need, yes, it is quite exciting. Everybody wants to bowl fast. And we had the good fortune of having Ian Pond visiting us and doing a lot of sessions. And then we had Stephen Jones also here with us. And then a lot of others. Venkatesh Prasad has been my good friend. So we're quite inspired and motivated by the presence and the information that we've gathered from all of this. And then while in Melbourne, I worked closely with Damien Fleming. We
Yes.
had the opportunity to work with him, and I picked up a lot of these points, which I'm in a position to share with these young boys. So we have started seeing a lot of them joining in for fast bowling, and then we have set up a very, very novel system for high performance batting. We do not only the test match cricket style, but also the T20 style, which is very much in vogue. And this is something which we are working on, and it has started showing wonderful results.
Yeah.
And also, I would like, in the near future, I would like to set up a high performance center with some really top coaches from across the globe, doing the batting, bowling, fielding, wicket keeping, spin bowling, fast bowling. So it should be a complete institute. Many years ago, when we sat down together to try and form this academy, we had the privilege of having Sunil Joshi, and who's the current, former Test cricketer and
Yes.
current chairman of selection committee. Uh, he was there, and then of course E.S. Prasanna. It was the legend E.S. Prasanna who suggested this name, Karnataka Institute of Cricket. So we want to live up to his expectations, and we want to say that yes, it was the legend who set us on this path. And then it was Muhammad Azharuddin who inaugurated this academy. So there are a lot of big names involved. Now we would like to do something in the 25th year, set up a high performance center,
Yeah.
where only the top cricketers would be entertained, and they'll be trained by the world's best coaches. So this is something which I'm planning, and God willing, we must be able to put forth before the 19th of April 2021. 2020 was very bad, as all of us know. So 2021, hopefully, when we complete our 25 years, we should be able to launch this Dream Academy.
Amazing, Irfan. All the best to you and your team, and fingers crossed, 2021, it's all guns blazing and you achieve whatever you've set out to achieve. And one final formal question, I guess, is, of all the young players that are coming through, are there some that we should keep an eye out on that you think will represent India in the future? I mean, I don't want to put too much pressure on all these young cricketers, but some exciting names that are coming through.
Yes, I'm very excited about Devdutt Padikkal.
Yes,
now this young kid,
RCB.
yes, he is, RCB. He's doing extremely well, and the kind of performance he showed us in the last season, being the top scorer for Karnataka in all the three formats. I think he's the one to look out for, and we're hoping, praying, and waiting for him to go and deliver this season in the IPL, which is happening in the UAE.
Yes.
And then we have Shibang Hegde, who's a real big talent. He's a very good all-rounder. First of all, he's, I think, one of the best left-arm spinners going now. And then, of course, he bats brilliantly, and he's got a very good thinking mind. He thinks cricket very well. And Shreyas Gopal. And then we have so many other youngsters who are actually raring to go. So another very exciting kid I must mention is he's just crossed his 14 years of age, and he has scored 52 hundreds. He's got a triple hundred in the senior league, and then he has 5 double hundreds. That's Shibang MB. Now Shibang MB is a cricketer I'm truly looking forward to. Then we have yet another very good left-arm spinner who I'm sure will make the grade, is Ayush Parikh. Every time he bowls, he picks up 5, he bats, he gets 50s and 70s not out, and I think he's very exciting. So these are the young boys who we are laying our faith in, and believe me, the list is very long. A lot of them who are, making us feel very happy, very hopeful that the future is going to be bright.
Exciting to hear those names, and fingers crossed everything goes well with them, and we're looking forward to some good names in Indian cricket. Obviously very strong. I guess hopefully we can get some in Australia as well. We're not that lucky. I've got some rapid fire questions, Irfan, if that's okay.
Yes.
With you. Yep. So, who was your inspiration growing up? Doesn't have to be a cricketer, but someone you look up to most.
Undoubtedly, I must say, my mother was the first person I would like to mention, and if there's someone who's inspired me for cricket, it is Gundappa Viswanath.
Yeah, of course. Second question is, who is the most talented cricketer you have coached?
I think talent-wise, Manish Pandey and Uthappa, the right and the left eye, I will not be able to choose between them. So they are really ahead.
There's some good names. Who has been the hardest working cricketer that you have come across?
Hardest working cricketer, I think, is Manish Pandey and Mayank Agarwal, of course. Mayank also batted hours and hours at a stretch, but Manish Pandey, from the time he was 8 years old, I have seen that he really toiled hard.
Outstanding. Your most favorite moment that you have experienced while coaching?
Well, on the day, while coaching on the day, Robin Uthappa got picked for India. That I think was the biggest moment because he was first among all our cricketers to make the India great.
Outstanding. A message, I think you might have touched on this, but a message that you have for any young cricketer?
Enjoy the game, and the game will offer you a lot of pleasure.
Excellent. What is the best thing about coaching?
The best thing about coaching is that you are associated with people with dreams, aspirations, and who are willing to work hard. They bring, so much of enthusiasm and energy, and that makes me feel young as well. So I'm very happy being involved with the youngsters.
Great. One change that you feel is necessary in this game of cricket?
I think the mindset of the young kids, which is towards the T20, we need to tell them that yes, first you have to be a very good basic player, then you can aspire to play the T20 and not the other way.
I think it's a common feeling amongst everyone. If it was not for cricket and KIOC, what do you see yourself doing? It's a hard question.
It is a hard question. Maybe if not for KIOC and cricket, I would have been an unknown businessman on commercial street selling garments because that was my trade.
Nice. And the final question is, if there was one ambition or goal that you want to achieve with the game of cricket, what would that be?
If I really want to achieve something, it should be, I would like to say that more number of our boys and girls turn out, and especially I would like to say we would like to win the Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
And we need our girls to be contributing towards that victory, and I think that would really fulfill my dream.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not too long from now.
Veda came very close to that. Very close to that. That semi-finals, that's the one time I think I had tears when Veda got out. I knew India was out of it. If Veda had won that game for India, I think 1983 would have been repeated, and things would have been so different for women's cricket in India.
Amazing. All the best, Irfan. Thank you so much for joining me on Around the Wicket. It's been an honor for me to speak to someone who has so much wisdom, contributed so much to the game, and still contributing. All the best for the future. Your life is a service to the game. A service that I'm pretty sure everyone appreciates. Fingers crossed you get some cricket, and all the players that are in the institute go on and achieve higher things. Thank you so much, Irfan. Appreciate your time. And have a good weekend.
Thank you very, very much. I must thank Around the Wicket and yourself personally for having given me this opportunity. And I hope, whatever I've said, if it has a little bit of an impact on the youngsters who are watching this or following this on your channel, I think that will be really useful. And let's hope things get better where this pandemic is concerned. I hope everyone stays safe and everyone has a happy life. And I wish everyone the very, very best.